Yo, it's Jared, I'm on chess.com, playing a 10-minute game. Here we go. Let's go e-pawn. Wreak some havoc. Alright, Royal Pez, maybe? c4. Okay, c4. Clamping down on d5 from black, I suppose. But now d4 is rather weak, so I'm going to play bishop c5 with the idea of getting pieces to target this d4 square. d4 is now a serious hole in white's position, so I plan to target that. Hopefully at some point to jump a knight in here. Maybe right now. He just trades it off. I want an unopposed knight. So I play bishop g4 with the idea of, if he plays h3, of simply just taking the knight and then playing knight to d4. I want to prevent b4. Okay. What about knight f6? Knight f6 or knight e7? I think f5 is a move I want to get in at some point. So how about just knight g to e7? I've had some problems with playing the knight to f6, but now that he's played his bishop over here, I don't need to worry about a bishop g5 pin. So that move is out. Okay, let's just castle. And f5 is a move which I want to be getting in at some point. Right, he's making a lot of dark squared weaknesses around his king. What is this move possible? Knight b4 takes, pawn takes, rook, queen takes rook, knight moves. No, I don't think it's justified, although it's interesting. I don't think I get enough for that. How about simply queen d7? Queen d7. How do I want to get onto these dark squares? I think that's my plan of attack. Dark square control. So, how do I maneuver to get onto the dark squares? I think f5 just makes sense. If he takes, I recapture with a knight, maybe, and I got more pressure on this d4 square, which is a central point which I'm trying to target, as I've said before. So, e takes f, knight takes f, or rook takes f? Rook takes f puts more pressure on the f3 knight, but simply h3 is played. Right, okay. Right, okay. I can play queen h5, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes. I've got pressure on this pawn. Could do that. I could trade queen takes and then open up, take here. Bit of a decision. Take. Pawn takes pawn. Knight takes pawn. Yeah, I think I'm alright in all those variations. I don't even need to move my bishop, really. Because if, say, h6 takes, he reacts to the threat on the knight. Alright, he's threatening knight e6. I really just realized this. I should probably deal with that threat. Bishop takes, queen takes. We've even got like bishop takes check. King takes, I take the pawn, check. That's kind of dangerous, isn't it? It's not necessary though. I'm just going to trade. I'm going to get myself into time pressure if I think for too much longer. So knight e6 is a threat. How do I meet knight e6? Like this. It attacks the queen and defends against knight e6. Looks like a strong move. But now I've got this fork available. But then I give him this fork. I don't think I want that. If I take... Maybe I should take. I don't want to give him peace activity if I take. I really just want to get out of this forking possibility. So how about queen d7? Queen d7... Yeah. I think queen d7 is okay. So now I have knight takes b3 as a threat. Because if knight takes b3 right now, he could play knight e6, as in back here. Knight takes b3, knight e6. I take the queen, he takes my queen. Just not sure. I don't want to go into it. It may still be good for black, but I got lots of pressure on f2. Once this pawn takes, yeah, I thought that would be the case, but I can actually take here and win the exchange. He can take on e7 first with check, but I'm not afraid of that. Just recapture with the queen. I might as well grab the exchange. I grab this knight. This knight can't be tolerated on this square, so I'm going to get rid of him. I think he should capture with the c-pawn. Oh, he plays with the e-pawn. This is a bit risky, I think. Now I got rook e8. Now my e and f pawns are going to become very mobile. I think rook e8 is the correct move here. Rook e8, then knight e6. I could sack the exchange. Grab this pawn, actually. I'm going to do this. Makes sense to put the rook on the same file as his queen. If knight e6, I might just play rook f6. Right, I can take this pawn if I want. But I don't know if I want that. If I push, takes, the knight takes, it's pinned. I think e4. Oh no, that opens up this diagonal. I think I'll trade off this bishop. This bishop's too strong on a1. Okay, this comes with tempo on the queen. Okay. h6, g6, g6. If queen h6, queen g7. Okay, queen e7. Attack this knight and then queen e2 once the knight moves. Okay, I'm down on... he just blundered a piece. I'll take that knight. And resignation, okay. Good game, let's go back and take a look at this. I think I had some good play. So, c4 on move 3. I don't know about this. It looks a bit weakening. So the d4 point is very, very weak here. Yeah, I don't know about c4. It just seems wrong. So I have my bishop pointing towards his king side. So I got my bishop, knight, and pawn all targeting the d4 point because it's now a big weakness in white's position. So some more moves were played. Bishop g4. I play this with the idea, as I talked about in the game, if h3 I just take the knight and then just land my knight into d4. So I play a5 to prevent b4, and now he's just got all sorts of weaknesses. d5 is weak, b4 is a little bit weak, c3 is very weak, and so I think f5 is the right move here, just to open up the position and get some stuff going. Knight g5, I'm not really that concerned with knight g5, although knight e6 was a pretty powerful threat which I had to deal with. I think this deals with it fairly well. So I have my knight on d4, and now I just get this fork. So I'm up the exchange and a pawn. That knight needs to go. I trade off that bishop. All good so far, and just a piece blunder in the end. What would I have done if he'd played, let's see, what other moves are there? I suppose there's, yeah, there's queen h4. Queen h4, or there's knight f3. I was thinking of knight f3, like queen e2, just to attack this pawn. And to defend the pawn, I think the only move he has to defend the pawn is knight e1. Is that the only move? Ah, but then I take the knight. Ah, I take the knight then. Actually, yeah. Knight f3, queen e2, I think this is big trouble. No, he just takes this pawn. He just takes that pawn. I wonder if I can't play queen e1. Because you can't take because of back rank checkmate, but I can't take this pawn. It's interesting. Maybe queen e2 is not the best move here. Let's see. Maybe just queen e4. And there's no rook here because I just take. So queen e4 attacks this pawn, but then he can play rook here. I still think I'm better. Maybe there's plans of like rook f7, rook to e7. Yeah, that's probably a good plan, rook f7 here. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this game, and I'll see you in the next one.